सो थैंक यू सो मच अतुल सक्सेना जी, आपका बेहद दिल से शुक्रिया हमारे इस पॉडकास्ट सीरीज में आने के लिए। और आज हम आपसे सीखेंगे कैसे हम टचलेस जाएं, आइडेंटिफाई कैसे करें, एचवैक में हमने क्या क्या किया अभी तक हमारे लोगों के लिए। तो ये सब बातचीत हम आज आपसे करेंगे। तो शुक्रिया आपका आने के लिए शो पे। थैंक यू सो मच अतुल।
थैंक यू दीक्षा, नमस्कार, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर हैविंग मी हियर।
थैंक यू सो मच
यस,
अतुल, बहुत बहुत नमस्ते टू यू एज वेल। ऑल राइट सर, सो हमें थोड़ा बताइए कि सर अभी आप टचलेस, हम लोगों ने वैक्सीनेशन तो ले लिया है, बट देन हम अपने फैसिलिटीज को कैसे सुरक्षित करें। तो आपने अभी का क्या प्रोसेस इस्तेमाल किया है अपने एम्प्लॉयज के लिए और अपने सभी एंड यूजर्स के लिए? ओवर टू यू अतुल जी।
well, thank you Diksha. So Diksha, let me start with the kind of people who are there in any facilities, irrespective whether you are running a commercial building, retail, or whatever. I mean, there are two major kind of people who are there in the building. One is the users. Of course, the users means the employees or the visitors, right, who are using the building infrastructure. And second is the maintainer, which is obviously property management company people or the facility management professionals. So the first thing, whenever you enter in any building is the kind of signages, flow marking, social distancing kind of norms, which whenever you enter in the building, you see that first. So obviously, दो गज की दूरी, what is that slogan? And मास्क है जरूरी,
दो गज की दूरी है जरूरी, हाँ जी।
mask है जरूरी, right? So one has to put mask. That's very important. Social distancing, obviously, it's very important. As a property management professional or as a space provider, we need to make sure that we maintain that facility on those norms. We need to make sure that flow marking is perfect in terms of following the social distancing. Same time, the kind of different signages, for so that the people can know that what actually we need to do when we are inside. So these signages and these markings are very, very much required in the building. Posters for awareness, any precautions that you want to share with the other people who are managing your facilities should also be visible within your facility. Most importantly, when you are entering into the building and coming to the reception area or a front office area, or getting into the lift lobby, or just taking the lifts to your respective floor or something, the common washrooms are also very, very important in that way, because these common washrooms means they may be in the multi-tenant areas, they may be in the common areas as well. So the people who are entering into the building, they would go to the washroom. So the washroom field should also be good, wherein there are signages, there are social distancings and everything. So the first thing is to maintain the social distancing, to create a awareness of the COVID, right, and the precautions that you want people to work on or follow. That's very important. So that's one. And the second is obviously the touchless, as you rightly said. What kind of experience you want to give it to your tenants or the employees or the visitor who are coming into the building? Very, very important. Even we at Heinz, we did a lot of touchless kind of retrofit within the building. We did a lot of work on that. Let me just name few of them. It was contactless entry system. Means whenever you are getting inside the building and approaching to the lift, you will see the facial recognition system, which is obviously, it's not just to avoid any that proximity card kind of a touch or any biometric kind of entry process. Let's avoid it. Go for the facial recognition system, so that the system can make you enter into the premises. Very good system that we implemented there. And when you entered and going inside the lift and the elevators, you will see that there are a lot of buttons there. Even when you are outside the lift, you'll have to press button. We implemented a software. We use Otis lift. Some people use other lifts as well. Some people are using Mitsubishi, Kone, or some other different OEMs. You can talk to your OEM and understand whether they have any app kind of system. So we implemented that app system. You have that app in your mobile. You don't need to press button to call the lift. You just press it on your mobile after opening that app. And when lift comes and you're getting inside the car, lift car, there are flow buttons. You don't need to touch that also, right? So that can also be done through your app. So through your app, not only you are calling the lift, but you are also pressing the respective flow button, which is your destination, right? So this is how you can also do it. It's very, very touchless system. And also, people who are coming from the basement, they are getting into the lift lobbies. There are gates. So we made those gates also touchless, automated gate. Whenever you are coming, it's a proximity based sensor. So whenever you are coming in front of the gate, the proximity sensor sends you and it opens the door, and you can get inside. So right from the entry, whether it is on the through the ground floor or whether it is from the basement, it is touchless. So the people experience is definitely, it's very good. We implemented a lot of things, and we also urge people. We also want other people to also implement the same kind of thing in the building. So it gives a lot of good impressions. That's what we created in the building.
बहुत मजा आया, आपकी पूरी जर्नी हमें समझ में आई कि आपने
Sure.
कैसे अपने लोगों के लिए भी टचलेस की और कैसे हमने एंड यूजर्स के लिए भी टचलेस की, और दे वर वेरी हैप्पी टू डू दैट. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल माय फुल कुडोस टू यू दैट आपने इतना पैशनेटली सोचा सबके लिए, तो बहुत उम्दा. अब सर हमें थोड़ा आगे का थोड़ा और हमें डिटेल में बताइए कि प्रॉपर्टी मैनेजमेंट टीम को आपने कोविड के दौरान, क्योंकि फैसिलिटी मैनेजमेंट ही ऐसी वर्टिकल है जो फ्रंट फुट से खेलते हैं, मतलब फ्रंट फुट पे रहते हैं, उन्होंने सारा बाहर झेला, कोविड का सारा कुछ उन्हें सबसे पहले झेलना पड़ता है. तो यहाँ पे आपने कोविड के दौरान प्रॉपर्टी मैनेजमेंट टीम को कैसे हैंडल किया और अब कैसे आप सुनिश्चित कर रहे हैं उनका पूरा प्रोसेस? ओवर टू यू सर.
Diksha, very, very important part that you talked about, and really it was a big pain during the pandemic, during that phase, managing the team, because as you rightly said, facility management is a front face. It's a team which is there 24/7, irrespective of any festival, irrespective of anything, even the pandemic as well, right? So people are there and they need to maintain your building. They have to be there in your DG sets room. They need to be there at your water treatment plant. They need to be there at your flow. Any kind of facility management professional, be it your technical team who is blocking in the back side of your house, that's in the utility section, or it may be the front end people who are managing your cleaning services, housekeeping, security, and all that. They need to be there all the time. We faced a lot of challenges while doing it, in the first phase when everyone was so, in the panic, and people were just thinking how to manage that, how to call people even, right? There was a time when people have some, there was some timing restrictions as well, that point of time, that people can only come till 9 o'clock to the office. After 9 o'clock, there is a lockdown. You can't call people just beyond this hours. But since you need to manage the facility 24/7, you have to have people there, irrespective of any restrictions or any lockdown. So we managed people there. We made them stay at the in the building. We did a lot of logistic arrangement for them so that they can feel comfortable. Yes, for the time being, if they are there. And not only that, we need to make sure that all your social distancing and any of that sort kind of guidelines are also being adhered to, and they are being implemented at ground, because that your employees are not there or your tenants are not coming, but you have at least 200 people, or let's say 100 people, depends on the size of the facility, coming every day to your office and managing your facilities. Very typical task to manage those people. We arrange their logistics for their food services and all that. We try to get them for a week or something, and we did a lot of logistic and a lot of things. That was a time also wherein you need to get a pass as right pass also. So just our facility management service provider helped us to get those passes from the relevant government authorities. so that we can give those passes to our people and they can come to the office to manage our facilities. Very typical time, but we had to manage that, and thank God we could manage everything.
वेरी नाइस सर. सो ये तो आपने बता दिया कि हम लोग पास की मदद से पूरे पूरे कोविड में हमने कैसे अपने आप को सुनिश्चित किया. बट सर सैनिटाइजेशन और क्लीनिंग की अगर हम बात करें तो सैनिटाइजेशन और क्लीनिंग को आपने कोविड के दौरान कैसा किया, और अभी जब हम ओमिक्रॉन के टाइम में, और आई एम श्योर कि आगे और कुछ वेरिएशंस आएंगे, तो आप सैनिटाइजेशन और क्लीनिंग पर से कैसे सुनिश्चित कर रहे हैं कमिंग 5 years डाउन द लाइन? ओवर टू यू सर.
Sanitization में दीक्षा, there are two major things. There are two parts. One is the facility management team and second is your property management team. Since I belong to the fraternity which is purely into managing space, and this is called property management. And but facility management people who are managing the tenant premises, they also need to make sure that the proper sanitization and disinfection is being carried out at their place. We as the owner of the building, or say the maintainer of the building, the property management professional, we need to make sure that our all common areas, including the utilities where our people sit and walk, most of the team which is sitting in our backup house areas, utilities, security rooms, CCTV rooms, BMS rooms, and the other areas, we also need to make sure that these areas are cleaned properly at a certain interval, and also to be disinfected and sanitized, right? There are a lot of good chemicals which are there in the market. We can use, couple of them. I don't want to take the name, otherwise people would say that I'm advertising their brand. But there are many of them which are there in the market, and we can use those chemicals to clean the area. And not only to clean the area, but see, cleaning chemicals are different, and that's the one which we have been using since a long time. But now, so if we talk about the COVID and other, we need to make sure that there are particular chemical which is used to disinfect, not only clean, but disinfect that particular surface or the areas where you want to make a proper cleaning, right? And the disinfection, I think, in the common areas, using of the proper PPEs, high touch points, let's say your door handles, your switches, your table, your laptop, keyboard, and your bathroom surfaces, right? So these are the areas where you need to do the proper disinfection and cleaning services. But the most important thing is, the disinfectant solution, it must always be prepared and used according to the manufacturer's instructions, because some people, use those chemicals in a different kind of concentration, but the dilution and the concentration which is actually required to make a proper solution should be as per the OEM recommendation. So please make sure that whatever chemical you are using for disinfection, it is the the solution ratio is as per the OEM instructions. So we need to make sure that also while doing anything. And after you are doing it, you can get your microbial swab test also done, so that you are aware that what actually the microbial test report is, whether you need to do the retreatment, or there are certain chemicals which gives you guarantee for 7 days or 8 days. There are few which says that no, every month you can do it, and it depends on what kind of material you're using for that. But make sure that you are doing the microbial test, so that you are aware whether you need to do it after 7 days, 10 days, or whatever time it requires, right? So that sanitization, disinfection is something which is very, very much required. And it is just putting me in some other areas also. Disinfection of toilet, washrooms, very important part. But at the same time, all your fixtures in the washroom should also be touchless. I missed that point when I was talking about the touchless facilities, right? So Diksha, this area is also very important from the touchless perspective. We made touchless experience there also in the washrooms. Your water tap, right, sensor based, it's touchless. Your soap dispenser, touchless. Even you have your sanitizing stations, your sanitizer, which is touchless. It's a sensor based. So you need to just show the palm and it comes on your palm, right? So, and we have got 3-4 stations in the lift lobbies, basement lobby, where we we made 2-3 different stations for your sanitization. So that automatic sanitizers are there, mounted on a pole, and you can use them without even touching it. So this is what it is. And in washrooms, we did everything. One thing is the health faucet in the WC is something which cannot be made touchless. We tried a lot. We tried a lot of technologies which are there in the market, but we couldn't find anything which gives us touchless experience in the health faucet in the WC. But anyways, we implemented everything there. It's a good experience altogether while getting into the technicality or any innovative kind of approach. It's always good to even learn and implement new things.
So I think yes, Atul, I mean very amazing. दो चीजें मुझे काफी अच्छी लगी. आपने बोला कि जो components आप cleaning के लिए use करते हैं उसमें chemical का जो strength होता है, percentage होता है, वो ध्यान से करें. तो अतुल जी की बात ध्यान से सुने, otherwise आपका chemical लोचा हो जाएगा. So उससे बचने के लिए we have to do it. Otherwise
chemical लोचा, and at the same time safety perspective, it's very important.
Yes, safety perspective, jokes apart, but safety is very important. और दूसरा, कहीं कहीं हम टच को बिल्कुल एलिमिनेट नहीं कर सकते. जैसे वॉशरूम में पर से अगर हम बात करें तो वी हैव लाइक WC को हम नहीं कर सकते. इट्स हैज टू बी सम टच इज रिक्वायर्ड सम प्लेस. बट यस, इट वाज कमेंडेबल, फैंटाबुलस जॉब अतुल. सो मूविंग फॉरवर्ड, आई थिंक वी हैव वन मोर क्वेश्चन वेयर HVAC पे जैसे लोग काफी टाइम बताते हैं कि ये रेस्पिरेटरी डिजीज है और ये हवा के द्वारा हो सकती है, तो हम काफी लोग डरते हैं कि AC है कहीं तो मुझे ना हो जाए, कोई है बीमार तो मुझे ना हो जाए. तो इस तरीके से अगर हम HVAC और एयर कंडीशनर डक्ट के सिस्टम को समझे तो उस पर थोड़ा हमें बताइए सर.
थैंक्स दिशा. तो एयर कंडीशनिंग तो आपने बोल ही दिया, इट्स वेरी वाइटल पार्ट एंड एट द सेम टाइम इट्स वेरी टेक्निकल पार्ट. COVID scenario and anything that you are doing against that, to prevent the spread of COVID through your signages, through your social distancing, mask, and the sanitization, it's pure visible thing. One can understand this easily. You need not to be a technical person to understand those things, because they are very physical and you can see that. But the other part, which is very vital, because you are in the area which is completely air conditioned, centrally air conditioned. That means it is a closed loop, and the air which is there inside, it is just rotating inside. It's coming back to you. It's a closed loop system. Very important, but at the same time invisible. So why I'm saying two tasks, visible, invisible, means one can see the part number one that I described. Part number two is the air conditioning, which is sometimes it is invisible. People don't even think of it. And the second thing is it's a very technical. People don't want to get into that, right? But it is very harmful if we don't treat the air properly, inside the building. Irrespective of COVID, even you have to treat your, air which is there inside your office very carefully. I'll tell you what. Let me start with the filtration system of air conditioning. You'll get to know. I know you'll get bored. I know it's a very boring subject for the people.
अरे नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं. बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिलेगा. Please continue, sir.
Right. तो एयर कंडीशनिंग सिस्टम में दीक्षा, जब हम ऑफिस में बैठते हैं, the air that is coming to your area where you are sitting at your workstation is actually coming through the AHUs, which is called air handling unit, right? And it is coming through the duct. The air which is coming from AHU room is actually the AHU room is actually the area wherein you can do any kind of filtration or any kind of disinfection. I am taking two names. Both are different. Filtration and disinfection. Both are purely different. Filtration is something which is in two ways. You can do mechanical filtration or you can do ESP filtration, which is electrostatic precipitator, right? So you can put your mechanical filters, which is called now, people call it after COVID. Most of people are knowing now MERV 13, MERV 8, MERV 14. Before this, nobody was talking about MERV or something. It was there, but nobody was talking. Even in Heinz, we implemented a lot of things, and not from in the COVID time. 10 years back in our building, we use this MOV8, MOV13 filters. So we are already there even before the time. That's a dual skin. We put MOV8 and MOV13 filter. MOV13 is around 3 micron kind of a filter. So these filters are used to filter the air, right? Filtration of air through the filter, which may be a little dense or maybe a little open in terms of the size of the filters. So it is generally 3 microns or 10 microns filters. So dual filters are used for filtration of that. And people use ESP filters, also electrostatic precipitation kind of filters. And this is used for the filtration. But your COVID virus, it's I read somewhere, I think it's 125 nanometers or something, which is 0.125 micron or probably 0.6 to 0.14 micron की range में होता है this. So it's very hard to filter that virus through the your physical filtration system, mechanical filtration system, or electrical filtration system. It's very hard. So what do we do is that then disinfection comes into the picture. The air which is coming to your building, it's not only filters, but it is disinfected as well. So use your technology, which is good. We explored a lot of technologies. We explored UBGI, which is using the UV bulbs, UBC type of technology that is used to disinfect the air. And these UBGI systems people use, and there are 3-4 other technologies which are there in the market, which is your proton-based wall-mounted kind of units, which are called high-intensity photon-generated kind of a wall-mounted devices, which we put inside the office. We can go for that. There is another technology by the name of hydroxide radical technology, which is, so it's a portable kind of unit. It's a like radio type unit, portable unit that you can carry to your office, you can carry in the conference room, or you can put it in your cabin also for a small volume disinfection of air conditioning system. So you can use that within the bipolar technology is also very good. I got to know that I come across with this technology. I called a couple of vendors. I had a good technical meeting with them to understand what the product is. It is definitely, it is good. You can put it in the air ducts, so which treats the whatever air is passing through the duct, and this it gets in the contact of that device, and your air gets disinfected. So this is how you can use that technology. But UBGI is the system which can be used in the AHUs, even at the center where you are. That's your air house. That air handling unit, the HU is your air house where the air is coming from. So you treat the air then and there, so that whenever it is going, there is no harm at all. So treating the air at HU level is the best.